The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
I got a question in reference to App Harvest, APPH.
I burned so many younger people when I had them on. I mean, it was just a feel-good story. But it's a lesson. It's actually a learning lesson for me that just because it's a feel-good story doesn't mean it can't go down 65% and gaff a lot of people. And that's exactly what it did. Because it may not be as viable as I thought.
XL Fleet, not your fault that we bought in. We make our own decisions.
You know, I had them on. Did I savage them and make them bleed? No. I had them told the story. I said the story sounded okay. It wasn't okay. And it's hurt a lot of people. Again, so let's beat these in my head. App Harvest and XL Fleet were two that I had them on. I should have said, you know what, guys? I don't think you have it. And I didn't.
You don't have to have on a CEO of a company to identify if the stock is successful or not. You don't even have to know what the company does to identify if that stock you're in is going to be successful or not. That's true. All you have to look at is the energy, that's volume, and then the trend of money. You never fight the trend of money. Just like if you're going to have a canoe, you don't go up against the trend of the water. You go with the flow of the water. I got so many stocks here that in the last few weeks that if you listened to Kramer, you would have lost money on. He's gone totally against trend. And one of the worst things they're doing is they keep telling you to buy on the dip. Every time a stock goes down, they tell you to buy on the dip. Well, when you buy on the dip, the money is still flowing out. It's still flowing out. The only time you buy on a dip if the money stops flowing out. If it stops flowing out, then you can buy. We call it the trap door. If they close the trap door, money's not going out, you can start buying it. We call them dog stocks. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Look, a lot of things are going on. But one of the biggest things that are going on in this whole market is this inflation. And inflation is going to get worse because they're not going to fix this problem. We have a freight problem. And when you have a freight problem, you can't move freight. That means inflation goes up. There's no way to stop it. It just continues to go up. Your wages cannot help you because your wages aren't going up fast enough. This is unbelievable what's going on. I told you yesterday. The goal of this administration is, again, they want to destroy the middle class. Because when they destroy the middle class, then they can have a socialist country. You can't have a socialist country and have a middle class. It doesn't work. Now, they already started. You go all the way back and take a look. This isn't something new. This isn't AOC and her team came on, or Bernie Sanders. This goes all the way back. This goes all the way back to Obama, and even before Obama. But they started converting the middle class to a dependent class, and they have to do that by destroying this middle class by converting them into a dependent lower class. So in other words, their goal is to take you, the middle class, and convert you into a dependent lower class. That's insane. How do they do that? They do that by taking your job. They take your job and they outsource that job. That's how they started, by outsourcing your job. And this administration, that's what they want to end up with. They want to end up with a dependent lower class. They're going to have the elitist group who makes all the money, and then there's going to be the dependent lower class. That's how it works in any socialist country. But there's problems. When you're trying to convert a middle class into a dependent lower class, now remember, you have to dumb that person down. You have to make that person content because he was making money before. That's hard to do. That's hard to do, especially to keep them content. So this socialist regime that we have right now is trying to avoid all of that by opening the border. That's why they opened the border to illegals. They're considered already packaged as a dependent lower class. And they're easy to keep content because they know no better. Their whole life they've been a dependent lower class. They've been poor. And the reason why they're letting all the drugs flow over the border freely, that's one way they think they can keep them content. I lived in South Dakota. I saw what they did out the Sioux Reservation. And before I lived there, the stories I heard were the same thing. They put the Indians on the reservation, and how they keep them content? Let them drink. Let them drink. It's just unbelievable what they're doing. To keep what was once a middle-class person that you're going to convert into a dependent lower class. Now, how do you do that? Take their job away from them. And this is what gets me. I thought the Socialist Democrat, they had the heart. They were there to take care of the poor, help the people. Really? No, they're trying to destroy the people. And they're going to destroy this middle class with all this outsourcing. That's what they've done. Now, here's what they can do. The aggravation, think about that, to take somebody that's a middle class person, make them into a dependent lower class person, and to keep them that way is very difficult. So, but if you open the border to people from Guatemala, from Colombia, Peru, Venezuela, etc., easy to keep them content. Why do you think they're letting these people come in? Dumb down? See, you have a problem dumbing down a person that once was middle class. And that's a big challenge that's facing this administration. It's hard to dumb down a successful middle class person to a dependent lower class. Another reason why they keep the borders open. This is why they're keeping the borders open, because they feel if they bring over these illegal immigrants, when they cross the border, they're already dumbed down. They're already dumbed down. They don't have to dumb them down. It's part of the package. Part of the package. Now, the reason they dumbed them down, the middle class, they're going to have to dumb them down once they get to a lower class. They don't want them competing. They don't want them competing. They can't compete. See, that's why they dumb them down. To put them into a position where they cannot compete. They can't compete in the world market. Now, that's why the Socialist Democrats are taking control of our school curriculum, right? Teaching the critical race theory. Hey, remember Terry McAuliffe yesterday said he's a Socialist Democrat who's running for governor. And he says that he doesn't believe parents should have any say as to what we teach in our schools. Imagine. So they can teach these kids things that won't make them competitive. Next, they'll get rid of, you watch, they'll get rid of all the arts. They'll get rid of all the choirs. They'll get rid of everything. They'll probably even divide them up into different cultures with different languages so they can't communicate with each other. This is insane what's going on. And what they're doing right now, the inflation they're causing, oh man. We'll talk more about that. The stocks you need to be in because of that inflation.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, boydinvestigativegroup.com.
License number A1900020.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Jonathan Gold is the Vice President for Supply Chain and Customs Policy.
The consumer demand just has increased even more this year than what we saw last year. And that is certainly fueling the ongoing challenges that we're seeing because the imports have skyrocketed beyond what we saw last year.
Okay.
I mean, those are big numbers. When you actually see inflation numbers when it's been so long, Rick, I really didn't think they were possible. I didn't think it was possible, and I still don't. I think it must be transitory.
This inflation is not transitory. As I told you yesterday, our inflation number is above 13%. They're lying to us at 5.4%. It makes no sense. If you go back and look at gasoline and go back to the 70s and we adjust the prices for inflation, their gasoline price was up 28%, our gasoline price up 42%. Their heating oil price up 29%, our currently is up 41%. Their appliances and big durable goods up average 21, we're at 30. Every day, staples, fruits, vegetables, meat, under those Carter years are up about 4%. We're 8 to 12%. So how could they say we're at 5.4% when our inflation, our prices are higher than when Carter had 13% and when Volcker turned around and increased interest rates from 10% to 20% to break the back of inflation. See, they don't want to break the back of inflation. They want inflation because by having inflation, the rich are getting richer, much richer. And this is what this whole thing is about. Destroy the middle class. So we have one rich class, and then you have all these people dependent, and they'll always vote the way you want them to vote. They always will vote. Who gave them the handouts, they'll vote. So you have the Socialist Democrats going to give them all the handouts, and they're always going to vote that way. And then the wealthy get wealthier. That's what's going on here. And as I said, this is nothing new. This started even before Obama. But we're getting to a point now that this inflation is getting nuts. And when does the market crash? As I always tell you, when they have to sit down at night, the folks pay their bills, and they say, you know, we got a problem. I can pay my rent. We can pay our rent, but we can't pay our car. We can't pay our credit card. We can't pay the three of them. We got to let one of them go. That's when the market crashes. Now, they've been able to engineer this crash, kick the can down the road, because they turned around and printed $1 trillion and gave them $1 trillion, 7.5 million people, to keep them alive. Matter of fact, they're making more money. We printed $1 trillion, sent them out that money, more money than they were making. So when they had to leave their job because of the pandemic and go home, the government said, instead of saying we're going to just replace what you're losing, we're going to double it. So as I said yesterday, no wonder $1 trillion worth of inventory, bang, off the shelves. Well, then they have to replace it. They have to reorder it. Well, there's nobody to produce it. Nobody to produce it. Who's going to produce it to send it back here to put it on the shelves? There's nobody producing it. So you've got the biggest back order in history. Now they're trying to sell you every day that, oh no, this is not a back order. This is such a great economy because Joe Biden's, his economy's working. And people are so rich and making so much money. Everybody's making so much money that everybody's just buying stuff. That's a bold-faced lie. So you got to stay in stocks that are meeting the inflation. When you have inflation like this, here's what's going on. Your bond market is getting killed. All you have to do is go and look at the bond symbol. Just put up TLT. If you have a mobile device, I'm putting it up on my site right now. You can see it. Look what's going on with the bond. The bond's going south, man. So when the bond goes down, that means everybody who bought bonds said, I just want to feel safe. I don't want to lose my principal anymore. You remember all those people who said that 2008, 2009, 2010? I just want to keep my money safe and secure. I'm going to buy a bond. Well, guess what? You got caught in the biggest bond bubble in history. Now you're getting slaughtered. And every day, the yields are going up as your bond's going down. And those yields is what fuels the inflation. Because remember, all the spending of money, we're spending more than we're taking in. That's causing a deficit. That in turn causes inflation. Then you start seeing the bonds go down, yields going up. So make sure you're in the stocks that are doing the best. And the stocks that are doing the best are your oil stocks and your bank stocks. Because if you look right now, if you look at the bond yield today, I'll have my producer give me the, we're 168. Remember I told you we're going to hit 200 basis points? 200 basis points, we're 168. We're 168. We're higher now. Okay, remember the highest was in April of 2021. That was 172 basis points. And when you get this high, all of you folks who are buying these big tech stocks, you're going to get slaughtered. You're going to get slaughtered. Please don't do that. Don't be buying these big tech stocks. Stay with your banks and stay with your oil. You just got to know when to get out. That's another problem. 95% of the people don't know when to get out of their stocks. They just don't know when to get out. That's the sad part. They don't know when to get out of their stocks. So you got people running to Apple right now, trying to buy Apple, thinking it's on sale, thinking it's, boy, what a deal. I can buy Apple now. I'm going to get really rich. This is the best stock in the world, and it's dropped from $158 to $149. Boy, I better start buying it. What are you, nuts? This in Amazon. We got people in there buying Amazon. They're buying Google. These are not the stocks you want to be in. You don't want to be buying Facebook. If you take a look at Facebook on the chart, what do you see? I'll tell you what I see when I get back from this break. 877-600-GANG, free for 10 days, working investor group.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
When the markets open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
When the markets open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Are you tired of being lied to about some magical economic recovery that only benefits the 1 percentile? And then when the market does collapse, you're sitting there calling your broker, what do I do? When you should be shorting? Learn how to short the market. Continue to listen to my radio show, philsgang.com. Become a member, only $39.95 a month, and learn how to short.
Don't wait. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang, the Working Investor Group, free for 10 days. You get the stocks, you get everything, and you get my color-coded chart. Just call 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and sign up for Working Investor Group. And every day at 2 o'clock, you get to see our portfolio. It's our membership portfolio. You see every stock in our portfolio. And every day, Steve, who's the head of our education department, he posts every stock that's in our portfolio, and he tells you what to do with each stock. Here he's talking about Schlumberger.
Schlumberger, reduce your shares by 75% as this one reports earnings tomorrow.
So he tells you what to do. Nobody else does that. They don't tell you what to do. As I said, if you've been listening to Kramer, every one of his stocks, and he admitted he got people killed on APPH. Unbelievable.
I got a question in reference to App Harvest, APPH.
I burned so many younger people when I had them on. I mean, it was just a feel-good story. But it's a lesson. It's actually a learning lesson for me that just because it's a feel-good story doesn't mean it can't go down 65% and gaff a lot of people. And that's exactly what it did. Because it may not be as viable as I thought.
Now, what's he mean? it was a feel-good story. He bought it because of a feel-good story. See, this guy's always made his money with inside information. He made all his fortune during the dot-com days. Nobody will look at a stock, a pro, like APPH, and see that the trend of this stock, if you just take the peak of the trend, or take what we call a sweet spot of the trend, if you just take from, go back to February 22nd, 2021, and you go down to, let's say you go down to, there we go, you go down to April 21, February to April 21. So that would be about, let's see, give me a number here. The high then was around $35, and then the low was somewhere around, let's see, the low was around $12. So that was the sweet spot was 65%, a 65% drop. The chart, and I hope you can see this, go to my site, philsgang.com, and again, you can see this right now, okay, if you have a mobile device. And you see how the chart turned from green to red? And the minute that turned red in the sweet spot, that should have been shorted. No way is the flow of money going to change and go back up. Are you kidding me? He slaughtered these people because he thought it was a feel-good story, because he interviewed the CEO of the company. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's not important to even know what this company does. It's not important to even look at its numbers. It isn't. All you have to do is look at the stock, the flow of money. Is it going in or is it going out? And we design our stocks, which are patented, are designed to color-coded chart that identifies for you if the money's going in or out. You would have never bought this. You would have shorted the stock. And that's another thing we talk about every day. For heaven's sakes, please learn how to sell short. It's just as easy as buying a stock. It's easier. And you make more money. The day that you finally can convince yourself that when a stock's going down, you stop staying in it and you stop hoping. These people are getting slaughtered and they're hoping it's the great Kramer stock. So they thought, oh, it's Kramer stock. It's got to go back up. No, it got worse. And then it broke out of the sweet spot and still went lower. What a terrible thing. All that money should have been made by shorting that stock. Then you have the other one. Same thing. Same exact thing. Did the other one. XL
Fleet, not your fault that we bought in. We make our own decisions.
You know, I had them on. Did I savage them and make them bleed? No. I hadn't told the story. I said the story sounded okay. It wasn't okay. And it's hurt a lot of people. Again, so let's beat these in my head. App Harvest and XL Fleet were two that I had them on. I should have said, you know what, guys? I don't think you have it. And I didn't.
No, who doesn't have it is you, Jim. You've been in this business long enough. Again, another stock. Go to my site, philsgang.com. If you have a mobile device, you can see this. Look at this. He said, just because he had the CEO on, the CEO is going to tell him how great the company's going to do? The CEO doesn't even know how great the company's going to do. The only way you know how great the company's doing, because they fudge the books, they fudge everything. The one thing that's not fudged is the flow of money. If you got more people selling the stock than buying it, it's going to go down. It's called trend. It's called trend. So he had these people buy a story, buy into the story. He was impressing him. He had the CEO on. Look at the money. So if you started to sell short this stock, let's say you started to short this stock at, I don't know, we'll say we started short it at $20. And we got out of the stock, let's say right at the base. From 20, we got out at, I don't know, $6. That's a 70% drop. And he had people buying it. My members who are in the stock are selling it short. It is so easy to do. If you can switch a light switch on and switch it off, you can do it. People ask me too, they say, when's this market going to crash? You keep saying the market's going to crash. But you got to remember what they're doing. We've never seen anything like this before. Remember what I told you. The inflation that Carter had was at 13%. They went in and raised rates to fight that inflation. They're not doing this. They're not trying to save the economy. It's not what they're doing. That's not their goal. Take a look at the bill. Take a look at the bill. That $3.2 trillion bill. Look at the incentives in that bill not to work. Look at the incentives in that bill not to work. It's insane. They're trying to change this over to a socialist nation. They're trying to change what we do. They're trying to go from a capitalist nation to a socialist nation. And just go look at the bill and you'll see it. Anybody knows that. So they do not care about what's going on with the economy. As I explained to you a minute ago, they're bringing people in from all these countries across the border because they know it's easier. It's easier for them to bring people in from over the border, and they don't have to convert anybody to a dependent lower class. Now, if you got to take a middle class person, or they want socialism, you got to get rid of the middle class. To take a middle class person and switch them to a dependent lower class, the first thing you have to do is outsource their job. You got to destroy their job. That's what they did. They've been doing that for years now. But do you understand how tough that is? Now you got to dumb these same people down. That's almost impossible. How are you going to dumb these people down? These are smart people. They were successful people. Now you're destroying them by taking their jobs and exporting them, and now you need to dumb them down. Then you go into their schools and make sure that their curriculum is set up so that they can't compete. They want to dumb them down so they don't go anywhere. So what do? They say that's too hard with the middle class. So let's just open the borders and we bring in people from Venezuela and all these other countries. They're already dependent people. They're already dumbed down people. And they're not going to compete with anybody. Let's bring them in and let the drugs in, because the drugs will even keep them content. What's going on? Be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed, because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere, because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about
With
it.
the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Pick your words, say them. We're seeing goods move through our system and reach shelves at record levels. The issue, again, is that demand is so high, retail sales going really off the charts high, that our systems are just straining to keep up.
If you've been to the store lately, you may have been met with scenes like this. Empty shelf.
So, this is all they know. See, Budapeg, he doesn't understand what work is. He doesn't have a clue. This is so far over his head, and they certainly didn't put him in a position to be transport secretary because of his skills. He doesn't have skills. The only experience he has in transportation is when he drives himself to work in the morning. That's it. He's a Harvard graduate, went to Oxford. He's a genius. But he's so smart, he's stupid. The man actually believes that the reason, that what he's saying, that the economy's so good that people, they're spending so much money on goods we just can't replace them, that's the problem? Does he not understand that when we were shut down for 6 months and we gave everybody $1 trillion, they spent everything and all the shelves were cleaned out, but nobody was replacing? You can't replace. If you're a store owner, you can't replace. You're sitting there and you're doing orders after orders trying to replace your shelves and no response because everything's so backlogged. We're backlogged. That's the problem. It's not that the economy's great. It's that they made the economy terrible when they shut the economy down. So this backlog is hanging out there. It's not because the economy's... Please don't listen to this. So the only thing that I can tell you is that we have an opportunity to make money in this kind of a situation because the inflation is going to get worse and worse and worse. So that means that you're going to see bonds go down, down, down. People who are in the bond market are going to lose everything. It's the biggest bond bubble in history. Everybody's buying bonds. What's buying bonds? When that happens, yields go up. So stay with the stocks that work with high yields and you're going to do great. You're going to do great. And which stocks are those? Your banks. I gave 2 stocks to my gang last week. They're 2 small investment banks, HLI and PJT. And what does that mean? Well, first of all, both of them are above their 3-month and 6-month resistance. And one of them, and I think even two of them, are above their 1 year, making new yearly highs. Yeah, they're both making new yearly highs. That's the kind of stock you want to be in. Then all you have to do is put in a stop to protect yourself. And then we're going to take those stocks and we'll short them. Like all the oil stocks right now. The oil stocks, same thing. They're going to just keep going up. They're going to keep going up because they set the oil industry up where they're no longer number one. We're not the number one. We're not independent, I should say. We're no longer oil independent. We got to beg for oil from other countries. So oil is going to keep going higher and higher and higher. You want to be in the oil stocks. And by the way, a year from now, maybe even less than a year from now, oil stocks are going to collapse. So we're going to make money on the way down. But right now, let's just focus on, as I said, people keep asking me, well, Phil, you keep saying the market's going to crash. Well, it's in a crash. But people don't realize that. They can kick the can down the road as long as they want until the day comes that the people have to make a decision what they're not going to pay. That something can't be paid. With gasoline going up, we're going to hit $100 pretty soon a barrel. There's going to be a point where people can't pay their credit card. At the same time, pay their mortgage, pay their rent, pay their automobile. They can't. But remember, from February 2020, to February 2021, $1 trillion was pumped in to the 22 million people who weren't working. That's what delayed the crash. But what it didn't delay is the inflation. The inflation. And inflation is the worst thing ever. Nothing like inflation. I've told you, over the past 232 years, of the 46 presidents, all agreed the number one supreme responsibility of a president is to protect the system of government. That's the responsibility. That's the number one responsibility, except for one president, the one we have now. And they all agreed the biggest threat to that system of government is not war, is not terrorists, not the illegal border crossings, not even a pandemic, especially not even the environment. So what's happening is none of that stuff is a problem. The real problem is inflation. That will take down an economy, a government like nothing else. But they don't care. You know what they're focusing on right now? I told you yesterday. They're all going to go to the Glasgow Environmental Fair, or whatever they call it. They're out there. It's a big thing at the White House. Everybody in the White House working 24/7 to prepare for this environmental meeting where they're going to get together and figure out how to get the temperature of this planet down by 1.5% between now and 2030. That's their priority. Doesn't that tell you something? Do you really think they care? Do you think they really care about our economy? No, they don't. Because they can't have what they want, a socialist regime, when you got a middle class. And you have to destroy the middle class, and this is what it's doing. But in the meantime, take advantage of it and make money. And where you're going to make money is in those stocks that act well in this kind of a situation. Healthcare acts well in this kind of a situation. But right now, if you just keep focusing on your banks, especially your regional banks, your small regional banks, the ETF, KRE. Now, I hope you folks that listen to me, that are not gang members, don't start investing in these stocks that you hear me talk about. And I know a lot of you do, and you don't join the gang. You say, why should I join the gang? He gave it to me over the air. But that's not how it works. How am I going to get in touch with you? It's supposed to be out. How am I going to get in touch with you if you're supposed to reduce your shares? I can't get in touch with you. How am I going to get in touch with you if all of a sudden we have a signal a call to action that this stock's going to crater. How can I can't get a hold of you. But yes, I'll see somewhere online, you'll say, yeah, I listened to Phil and I lost money. But you're not honest. You don't tell the other side of the story. Well, I listened to him on radio. I didn't join the gang. I thought I was saving a few bucks, but I got the stock from him. And it cratered, but there's no way for him to tell me to get out of it or to turn around and short it. So please don't, when you hear me, please do not take these stocks and do it at home, okay? Please. Now, brokerage firms, as long as we have socialists, I'm sorry, to get that in my head. As long as we have tourist traders, we call them tourist traders. These are the same people who right before every crash come into the market. Do you know the amount of money that's being borrowed right now by these tourists who are trading? There's more money now being borrowed than during the dot-com crash, during the housing crash, during all these crashes. We're going to hit probably $1 trillion. This is insane. And guess what they're buying? Tech stocks. The same ones. Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Google, Facebook, same ones. If you want to be smart, remember, as you're buying those, you better check the yield on the 10-year Treasury, because that 10-year Treasury yield goes up and up and up. We're getting closer to 200 basis points. Wasn't long ago we were at 113 basis points. Today we're at 168 basis points. I told you we're going to go to 200 basis points. And that kills the tech. So please, why don't you do this? Why don't you join our gang? 877-600-GANG, 877-600-GANG, or go online. And for 10 days, just join the Working Investor Group. And for 10 days, you get it free. And why don't you learn a little bit? You have to come to class every day and all that. Remember, you don't even have to come to class. Just follow our portfolio of stocks. And every day, Steve tells you what to do with it. Check it out. Working Investor Group, philsgang.com. Take advantage of what they're doing. See you on the charts, and please remember St. Jude.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.